A beverage before we start. I'm going to get a beverage.
I just hit the start button because you guys were talking about floors for too long or whatever.
Yeah, we're not going to stop talking.
Here we go.
Stupid men. No, I'm just kidding. Hey,
man talk is ongoing.
Welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. We're doing watch party 3 of the David Gingras versus Rachel Juarez debate on Relity Steve channel.
Jesus.
I did. So we did the first one, and it was us and Megan Fox. And I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone. And then the second one, I tried to do part 2 by myself, and I only made it 30 minutes into the stream and not very far into the video at all before I was like, I can't do this alone.
I was going to do that one with you, but I just said, hey, could you wait till like 8? And they're like, no. And they're like, you were going to do a stream on the Baldoni stuff. I was like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
You know that I do that shit right away. So what
Yes,
choice did I have other than to do, do its bidding? All right, let me see if I can. You can go. I mean, you can go get a drink. That's fine.
Part 2 is very short.
Jesus.
Part 2 is really like a 1.5.
Does he look like a bitch?
I gotta mute my soundboard is going off by itself.
I just thought that was your mom. Okay.
No.
All right. Let's we got to almost 1 hour into this through the part 1 and part 2. In part 1, when it was all of us sitting here talking about it, we got through 30 minutes of the stream for a almost 2.5 hour stream. We got through 30 minutes of the video, which was just, lots of stopping and talking. I'm sure there's going to be the same, but I'm certain this is going to be a 4-part series because I can only go until like 11 today. So
one of the most hilarious parts of this stream was that Steve's face was like that the whole time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I don't watch it unless I'm on the stream. So I have not seen. This is like real time. I've never seen this before, except for the clips that like JFC posts or whatever. That's it.
Oh well.
So, yeah.
I mean, at this point, like, there's no point in arguing the legal merits. I think Rachel does it so well.
No, I think I just want to sit here and be a bitch. So
yeah, just here to make fun of Gingras for wanting to move on all the time. For like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, if you could stop after every 8 words in the video so I can talk for half an hour, that'd be great.
I don't usually have to plan that. It just happens. Not the you talking for half an hour, but the me stopping every 8 seconds or whatever. That definitely happens. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna listen to a little bit, and then again, something bizarre comes out of the guy's mouth. I'm like, fuck it. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and we'll start playing it a little bit through. Okay.
Pleading.
Only under Rule 26.
No, Rachel.
Read your case.
No! What are we talking about?
Sua sponte.
Rule 26.
It was the sua sponte issue. And so I think the case that they're reading, I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but what she's talking about is like they made a decision that it should have been under Rule 26 or something.
Uh-huh.
Was that me or you?
It's not me, man.
Oh, but anyway, they made a procedural decision to proceed under Rule 26 in that case. It wasn't like somebody had asked for different sanctions before, so it wasn't the same. And that was the point that Rachel was making. And then Gingras was like, no, it was not. It's like, read your case. And that's how we got there.
All right. Well, I moved it back a minute, but
so now we just get to what did you think was wrong with the Court of Appeals opinion? Why do you feel you were right in your appeal?
Absolutely.
And why do you think you will be successful if you are going to do, the latest news is maybe you're going to break it here on this podcast, you're thinking of doing reconsideration, but even if you don't, you're going to go to the Arizona Supreme Court and then the U.S. Supreme Court. So why do you think your case?
Let's get into that. Let's get into that. So page 4, you said you had the ruling. We don't really need, this stuff is so dry. People that aren't lawyers.
You want the Court of Appeals
dry.
decision?
No, you don't need to. Let me, if we need to refer to it, you can pull it up. I've obviously got it right here.
Why not just bring up the filing?
I'm just letting you know that on page 4, the court is, shoots down my Rule 26 argument and basically just bought into what Clayton said, that Rule 26 was not the basis for sanctions. Therefore, we don't have to talk about it. That's essentially the entire analysis, right?
It wasn't, but that was one of the points.
There were alternative bases for
right. And I cited case law. Holgate versus Baldwin was my favorite one, but there were cases that I cited that basically said, and I'll paraphrase, that the existence of alternative grounds for punishing a person who violates Rule 11 or Rule 26 doesn't allow a court to disregard the safe harbor provision of the rule. A person has to be allowed to withdraw an offending pleading before they're punished for the pleading.
only under Rule 26.
No, Rachel.
Read your
That-
case. Read your case.
No, you're incorrect. You,
Take me to Colgate. Pull
The
it
problem
up.
is he paraphrases. He should
I-
just cite his case.
Yeah.
No,
This is undisciplined.
it's better for everyone if we just pick out a few words here and there.
are we really getting that
I
detailed?
read
By,
all.
by
I read every
paraphrasing,
single
he
one.
can twist it however
You're
he
here for a
wants.
debate. What does it mean? Are we really getting that detailed? Yeah, that's
I was
kind of
about
the
to say
point.
that, and I was like, what do you mean? Are you really getting that
Exactly.
detailed? What?
And not one of them says that you cannot punish conduct that could be punished under Rule 26 under an alternative theory of sanctions.
That is
approval.
exactly what Holgate, or was it? It might have been. It might have been Rainbow. Look, I'm not going to
Now he
get into
doesn't
that
even know
level.
which
Read the
case
pleadings.
it
You don't
is?
agree with it. You don't agree with it. But I'm telling you, the case law that I cited says that this analysis, you cannot simply disregard the safe harbor. When did Laura get her safe harbor, Rachel? When did she get her safe? You agree
December
that there is a
12th
safe
to
harbor?
December
She wasn't
28th.
entitled.
Probably sometime between the first and second paternity tests.
No, this is actually in when they withdrew the Rule 26 motion. They specifically say December 12th to December 26th, I think it was, or 28th. It was one of those. Let me see. I have it here. Oh yeah, it was December 28th. So December 12th to December 20th, which is more than 10 business days and more than 10 calendar days. Now, Omar, which is it? Calendar days or business days?
They're going to go by, well, court days. Court days, same as business days, basically.
Okay, so it's still more than 10 in either case.
Yeah.
So he's like, where is it? It was literally written in the withdrawal of the 26 motion. He just didn't bother, like, I don't know, reading it or caring about it.
But the point here is this is not even an issue because it was withdrawn. And the other,
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, you have to assume Rachel is wrong. And then his question is valid. Where's the 10 days? But the 10 days are there. So even if Rachel is wrong, which she's not, he's
Yeah.
still wrong.
well, me and her agree with this because she's about to say she's not entitled to the safe harbor. He's like, yes, she is. No, she isn't. Read your case. That's where we're going. This is like my favorite part of the debate.
But why does he think she didn't get it? She did get it, and she let it expire.
Well, just remember what a central chief thesis is that the invocation of Rule 26, it imposes a safe harbor provision that must be, despite everything else, applied to this case. That means the safe harbor, if she wanted to withdraw, she can. She wanted to withdraw, and they didn't let her withdraw.
What I'm saying is those 10 days literally existed, and she filed nothing.
Well, I think that his point would have been. Actually, don't know what his point is. No, I'm lost with that. Like, I'm trying to remember my conversation with him. She wanted to withdraw. They invoked Rule 26. At that point, they wanted to settle and withdraw the motion. They wouldn't let them. They proceeded not under Rule 26. They proceeded under 80, whatever it was, 25, 803 or something.
Because she filed to motion to withdraw after the 10-day safe harbor period.
I think that
Let
his
it
argument would
expire.
be, well, yeah, that's a good point. When does he say that even assuming arguendo, when would the time frame have started? I don't know the answer to that question.
No, I'm
And we
telling
never
you,
get
it's
to it.
December 12th to December 28th.
Is that what Gingras says? Or does he argue a different date?
No, those are when the things were actually filed. And if you read the withdraw from Woodnick or Isabel,
But to be fair,
about
it would have
26,
been,
they specifically cite these dates.
I think
looked
that it would
all up
have,
after they did this interview.
but under Rule 26, wouldn't it start when she has notice?
The
that they're
notice
gonna
is
fall?
December 12th.
Oh, it was. So she received notice, like she was served on that day.
Well, it was in the docket.
Well, docket is not the same as being served, though. So she could have got served on a later date.
Served?
Like,
Bro.
just because it's on the docket doesn't mean she had it in her hands. It's when she had noticed that Rule 26 was being invoked that would have started the time period.
What do you mean? Like the lawyer emailed it to her?
Like, if somebody files for a divorce and you don't know about it, the date that you receive notice of the divorce filing is when your 30-day clock to respond starts.
Oh, wait. So if something's on the docket,
guys, I'm bored. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna move on. We're gonna
this is
move on. I'm
important.
sorry.
If something's on the
We're
docket,
gonna move
isn't that
on.
equivalent
Prior
to
to
receiving it?
sanctioned under 25, I don't know, 809, I'm forgetting the number now, G, right? There is no safe harbor under the statutes that both Judge Mata and the Court of Appeals agreed she was sanctioned or Clayton was awarded fees under.
Okay, But do you agree with me? Do you admit that in Woodnick's first filing, he asked the court to grant Rule 26 sanctions? Do you agree with me with that?
I agree. At some point, he asked for Rule 26 sanctions.
It was in the very first thing. It was in the very
December
first
12th.
thing. I don't mind telling you, I have that part memorized.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any reason to agree or disagree with that.
And do you agree with me that
Well, wait a minute, hold on.
I have that part memorized, but he can't remember which case is which. That's nice.
I'm pretty sure Rule 26 was not invoked in August of 23.
December 12th.
It was December 12th?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So then
guys,
Gingras is
also,
wrong.
I texted Megan Fox. She's unfortunately sick, so she can't join us tonight.
Oh.
Well,
Just letting everyone know.
I
But
hope she feels better.
fees had been requested prior to that by Clayton in his response to the petition.
She probably
True.
feels like Steve right now.
in the same thing, he requested sanctions and fees?
Clayton's handwritten response.
Not the same thing.
Well, he didn't have any fees.
Or there
821.
had been a request for fees pursuant to the alternative statutes prior to any Rule 26 motion being filed.
Which he didn't incur, but yes, I agree with that.
That's
Okay,
irrelevant.
so it wasn't, Rule 26 was not the first time that any of these
Okay.
statutes were invoked.
Yeah,
That's true. It was
You're getting-
826. No, 821.
You're getting a far afield here. You need to you need to follow me.
No, you block everyone who follows you, bitch.
Winks is
There
right. It
was
was in
a
August.
threat.
August 21st.
Yeah.
Guys, how does Steve only have less than 7K subscribers? That's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, you should go follow Steve if you don't.
I don't think YouTube is his main
His-
thing, is it?
His
It's not,
audio
no.
podcast is the big deal. But I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
still, that's crazy. Also, Clayton too. Clayton's podcast does not have nearly enough followers. I'm like, well, how do the people just don't know?
Yeah.
I think that they're on YouTube.
I've just
Guys,
learned that YouTube and podcast world are two very different things.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've done the Spotify thing and all that like once. Or I think I put up like 3 episodes and I was like, this sucks. So
Yeah, dude.
you gotta hook into the algorithm at some point or whatever, and it's not really in your control.
no,
No.
and it sounds like something I don't want to spend time on.
For sanctions under Rule 26. You agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, there was. Of course there was. And that threat was in fact followed through on. There was a motion for sanctions filed, correct?
Well, when you say the threat was followed through on, yes, a motion for sanctions was filed and then withdrawn. I agree.
When was that withdrawn?
You tell me. February, January? When was it withdrawn?
April. I think it was April.
April. Okay.
I didn't get hired until March 25th.
Okay.
Okay. So it was
No, she had to go through every other lawyer first, ones with
That's
malpractice
true.
insurance.
months later that Woodnick finally withdrew this.
Mhm.
The issue that you are missing, and I just totally reject where you're coming from. I'm sorry. I respectfully do. There was a threat of Rule 26 sanctions that invoked
On
the
December
procedure
12th.
of the rule. And the filing of the motion invoked the procedure of the rule. Laura had a right to withdraw the offending pleading. She was not given that right. If she
What
withdrew the
does
offending
not
pleading,
given that right mean? She didn't file to dismiss until 12/28, which is way after 10 days after 12/12. What the hell is he talking about?
Folks, I'm going to relieve myself to go grab a beverage if you don't mind. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
When he gets back, I'm gonna go smoke some weed. Guys, I just wanted to tell everyone. Oh, Shizzy Raiders. Hi, Shizzy Raiders. Thank you, Shizzy.
What is this nonsense about she wasn't allowed to do something? She filed a motion to dismiss.
So they like to conveniently leave that part out. It's a continuing problem. The problem is ongoing, but
Nobody
you know.
stopped her from filing a motion to dismiss.
Yeah.
The fact that it was after this 10-day safe harbor period, even if you can argue that the 10-day safe harbor period should apply to the 821 request for sanctions, she's too late. She missed the boat. The boat sailed.
The boat should have missed her mouth, man. That would have been better.
Yeah, the motion to dismiss was denied.
Also, I just want to let everyone know in the chat that my temporary ban from commenting on YouTube has been lifted. So hallelujah.
Oh, everybody watch out.
I can go get back into some more trouble. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was banned for 24 hours from commenting on other channels because I told someone to fuck off. Which is pretty tame if you ask me. It was like harassment and bullying. I was like, somebody left me a very rude comment. And all I said was, fuck off. or like get fucked or something like that. And they were like, yeah, we're banning you. Like, what the hell? And the reason they gave me a ban right away is because I had already gotten a warning. And the reason I got a warning was nothing. Literally, like I got a warning and they removed my comment for posting a link referencing a legal website. And that was my warning. I was like, and I tried to like, you know, do the feedback or whatever, but they don't do anything about it. It's like, you know, you have a warning already. So you say anything we don't like. Yeah. I texted Dave about that. I was like, Dave, I got to stop reading the comments. So
I've never seen links cause people to get warnings.
no, it was crazy. And then I've had people telling me left and right. They're like, Lauren, my comments are being deleted. And I look in the moderation queue and everything. I'm like, no, your comments aren't there. Like, I'm not deleting them. They're just not there. So YouTube is just like mega censoring everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, in the studio. Because if a mod holds a comment, like let's say somebody there's some porn spam or something, and a mod holds it, it'll go into a place for you to look at it. Mm-hmm. People won't be able to see it, but it'll still exist.
Yeah,
totally.
And I mean, I have a whole Omar. We're talking about how have you had this problem where people are telling you like my comments disappeared or were removed and you didn't remove them?
I've had my own comments blocked in my own chats.
Me too.
YouTube.
That's what I was just saying. Because I got
and
I
wasn't even saying anything bad. I don't get how that works.
I just got a 24-hour ban from commenting on other channels.
You did?
Yeah. So I got a warning.
This surprises you, Omar?
Not at all, because I mean, it's probably the excessive use of the C word.
No, I didn't even earn it. It's like the first thing I did when I got a warning was I posted a link to it was like a legal reference to a New York law. And they didn't like that. They said your comment has been removed for community violations. And then somebody left me a really rude comment on one of my videos, and I said something along the lines of "fuck off," and they were like, "That's harassment and bullying." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, that's kind of out of bounds, Lauren. You got a bigger audience now. You have to clean it up just a little bit.
I didn't start it. In what world is if somebody says something mean to you and you're just like, "Oh, okay, fuck off"? In what world is that harassment? Like, just stop.
I guess it depends on who you're talking to.
Well, clearly somebody's mother, because they called the manager of YouTube and got me banned for 24 hours.
Whoa.
I try my best not to make comments on other people's channels. I'm just like, for what, man?
Because I like to read them when you leave them. That's
for you. Well, fair enough.
Yeah. Range G, thank you for $2. Someone needs Megan's Rule 26 button. I know, but she's sick. It's so sad. Omar, I don't know if you have a Rule 26 button. Omar's got all kinds of buttons now, but
I got this button.
Yeah, I remember that girl. She was a hoe. For show.
How about that?
When did you talk to my prom date? All right, moving on. Anyways,
what are we litigating?
What about the other bases for sanctions?
Okay. I don't know what part of this you're missing.
Could you pause for a minute, Lauren?
I think his brain just had to reboot or something.
So, I said on my stream that sometimes I really just don't think that Gingras has a grasp on the law. Maybe that's because he doesn't practice family law very often. But like his inability to understand like these very basic concepts about how sanctions and attorney fees work in family law cases. And it really looks to me like he's genuinely confused. Leads me to believe that he's just not the guy that should be representing Laura Owens in this case. He just has a misunderstanding, a fatal misunderstanding of what's going on with his own cases.
So Omar, I gotta say, your legal opinion holds less value because David Gingras says that you don't have any cases that have been cited by Interpol. So
by Interpol?
Like, Interpol. Are you even a lawyer?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I don't. He's probably right on that.
I haven't seen your shit in any
Interpol.
CSI
Do we got to sue James Bond?
What
the heck is going on?
I haven't seen it in any James Bond movies, published in any other films.
You know what's interesting? It's possible that Interpol law may have been involved in some of my immigration cases from like years ago, but I doubt it. I've actually won appeals in immigration court because of reasons. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just assume I don't know the law. How about that?
Let's not. Since you're the person I ask for everything, let's not.
I've only been wrong once.
Karen Carson says, it really hurts my feelings, YouTube, that you put Lauren in jail. I mean, it offends me, and I know offensive because I'm a Karen.
I'm not offended. When you tell me that Lauren was banned for 24 hours from commenting, I'm more like, I understand.
What did I do? Yeah. No, I was really on my medium best behavior.
My medium best, my least best. By the way, I jumped in the pool yesterday. Oh, this is not going to go well. It's not.
Go ahead.
I swim like a frog. It's not going to work out.
No,
Like a
don't
frog.
Bro,
Oh.
you swim freestyle. Why are you swimming like a frog? That's weird.
I
Don't do that.
mean, if I want to move fast in the water, that's like my move. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
No, dude.
I have
Are you trying to do the breaststroke? What are you doing?
I
Oh,
promise
I could do
you.
that, but
I promise you that's not it. You don't want to do that.
I do have an
Oh, no.
Olympic-sized swimming pool in my HOA community center thing. I think that's probably a more appropriate venue
I'll tell you
than my
what,
mom's backyard.
I'm gonna badger somebody to send me a video of you swimming so that I can critique it and help you.
Oh, well, you're just gonna have to wait till you get here because it's not good. I know how to swim to not drown. That's what I know how to do.
What if we did it with like weights on our backs or something? I don't know. Anyways, to even the playing field, Lori, let's see if we can get banned from comments. No, Lori, don't do that. Don't do that, Lori. I don't want you to get banned. All right, let's move on.
The motion invoked the procedure of the rule. Laura had a right to withdraw the offending pleading.
Just like Clayton had a right to withdraw
Well,
his dick from her
she
mouth.
did. She filed a motion to dismiss. She just filed it too late. Good luck, sir.
You see Steve's face right now? Whenever I hear Gingras open my mouth, that's like my face. It's
I
like,
actually just played this back. I played this 30 seconds back for the facial expression, so I should stop pausing.
She was not given that right. If she withdrew the
What do you
offending
mean
pleading,
given a right?
What are we
Anybody can
litigating?
File a motion.
What about the other bases for sanctions?
okay. I don't know what part of this you're missing.
I feel like Professor X just got a headache with Cerebro or something.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like me and every other attorney, that other one, is his name Patrick. When we talked, like, we were all on board with everything that Rachel was saying. Like, we're not crazy. It's like, I just don't understand. Like, why does Gingras like so confident in this? I just think he just fundamentally misunderstands.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, not just you, but MG Law and other
Yeah,
lawyers. Yeah.
exactly. Legal Vices and all the other lawyers that commented that I've
Have
been
they
able to
been
see.
cited by the CSI show or the
No,
Interpol?
I don't think they have Interpol cases.
Well, then fuck them. Loud Little Ducky, thank you for the 5. When does Rule 26 close start at the notice in random motion or the separate 26 motion filed? Omar, help.
What? When does Rule 26 close start at the notice and random? I don't know what she's asking.
I think she's asking if the 10-day, window.
Arguably December 12th, or when she actually was served with that notice, would have been 10 court days from that. So 14 days from December 12th.
But how do you get served with court notices? Like, so
You could either-
if something is on the docket and the document says 12/12,
So not to bore
wouldn't the lawyers
on-
have emailed her that on the 12th?
Well, there's personal service where people hand it to you. There's email service, but you got to consent to that.
For
And then there's
every
mail
motion?
service. Yes. Well, you have to consent to email service. Like, we agree that we're just going to serve through email. Great. But not every attorney agrees to that. I'd imagine Gingras probably didn't agree to that. So then the other option is service through the mail, but then that adds 5 days. So then the deadline starts on December 17th, or the timeline starts on the 17th.
Hmm.
If we're accepting it as being filed and served on the 12th. Mailbox rule.
Do you have to actually open it?
No, you do not. It just has to be in your possession or in your hands or in your mailbox. That's the purpose of mailbox rule. Because look, we're going to add, you got it in the mail, fine. Add 5 days just to be safe.
So she could like leave all this crap in her mailbox for like forever.
Sure. But so like your initial filing has to be in person. Like, you got to be personally served. So
On
you,
8/1.
yeah, but every subsequent filing after that could be through the mail or as agreed by the parties.
I don't think she had a lawyer on. No. Lexi Linval filed
All
the
right.
thing on 12/28. Actually,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't have been going to her personal home mailbox. It would have been going to Lexi Linval.
I keep forgetting that Lexi came before Corey.
No.
And I'm like, who came before Lexi? I forget
If-
who came before Lexi.
Well, I guess, yeah, Gingras was an
Whatever.
attorney of record on December
Doesn't
12th, was he?
matter. No.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, it doesn't-
Well, this is multiple lawyers before him.
Yeah. All right, let's move on in the video here, just because we've only made it through like 3 minutes
I don't know.
of video.
I just don't buy it.
Under
I just
Rule
don't buy it.
26,
If you
if
read
it-
the
if it-
withdrawal of Rule 26 motion by Woodnick, they list all these dates out. It's very clear, and he's just ignoring them. That's my problem. He's not arguing what Omar is arguing, which is like, oh, well, this is December 12th, but actually Lexi did this on this day. Like, that's what a good argument would be. But he's not even doing that because he has no discipline, no attention to detail.
And honestly, I haven't even explored the merits of that because it just doesn't matter.
Nope.
Well,
If
yeah,
a
I don't think it
person
matters
accuses you
either,
of
but it's
filing
like-
a plea that offends the rule, you have a right to fix it. Do you
Before
understand?
sanctions can be awarded under that statute.
Under any statute.
But show me a case that says that, because your cases don't. I've read them all now.
No, you need to read them again. You're incorrect.
What?
Why don't you just
This
point
is
out to me in the case law where it says what you wanted to say?
This is so stupid. He's just like, well, you're wrong. I'm not going to bring up the file and highlight the paragraph where I can show you, Rachel, where you're wrong. He's just like, well, you're just wrong. Like,
Do you
we'll
remember when I
agree to
pulled up like
disagree. Like,
I
no,
pulled
that's
up
not
like
how it works.
I remember pulling up like a dozen cases where like it was proving him wrong, and he's like, Omar is embarrassingly wrong. I'm just gonna wait for the appellate decision. It's like, okay, I guess I'm wrong.
Omar's dead to me, and then he's got like a ferret skin in the background or something.
Right?
Omar, what are your kids doing in the background there? I can hear some clanging going on.
Oh, the wife is cooking something.
Oh, I thought they were playing with Legos or some shit.
Oh no, they are. They're playing like nail salon or something. It's like,
That's definitely it, yeah.
yeah.
Did you let them do your nails?
No. It's like
I need a manicure.
nail polish is for girls. They did the wife.
Well, it
For
sounds
like,
like Bruce is available for a nail painting.
I'd get my nails done.
Yeah.
100%.
He would volunteer for that shit. It was like, hell yeah. Hooking up. Yeah. It's been going on all morning.
Somebody wants to know if Schnitzel Ninja is okay. We might have bored her to death. I'm not sure.
She's dead from boredom.
here.
She's here. Okay. Breach G, thank you for the 5. Even if he was right here, Clayton filed for fees in his response, so she had the 10 days way prior, even with his argument. Okay.
Well, I don't think there's a 10-day safe harbor on those
There isn't.
821 requests for fees. So.
It's actually
No.
10 years. So
Well,
you have to wait till the kids in middle school.
They were
Thank
there
you,
was a
Rich.
distinction between sanctions and attorney fees. Attorney fees have no such time frame. They certainly don't have a safe harbor.
mhm.
So there's that.
Well,
my I don't know. My epistemology would be that attorneys' fees are a subset of sanctions. Like there could be sanctions for a lot of things, and an attorney's fee award is one type of sanction.
Yeah, it can be a
Is that true?
sanction. Yeah, no, it can.
Okay.
Part of sanctions, I mean, they'll just award money damages and like call it like attorney fees. You could be awarded directly attorney fees. In some cases, you're entitled to attorney fees absent sanctionable behavior. So that's why they distinguish between the two. It gets real convoluted, and Lauren, I know, is not interested because she
No.
scolded me earlier. Now I'm just gonna be quiet.
I'm bored. I'm bored of that. I'm bored of that particular thing. You're
You
not
see how
bored in
Rachel's looking at me
general.
right now? Look at her face, man. Look at her looking at me like this. Like, are we gonna talk about attorney fees, bitch? No, man. Let's move on. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, well, I'll do what she says. So
You're in
Can you
courts.
just cite me? Just give me a quote from Holgate.
Oh,
Just give me a quote from Holgate that says.
can we have do you want me to have like a break and come back to this? I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
if she wants a quote and you can get one, yeah, let's just pause it. Let me
It's-
pause it.
it's
so we
all-
don't do
Yeah,
it.
let's just pause it and we'll then get me one.
Yeah, let's pause it. We'll
He
pause
didn't
it real
deliver,
quick
by
and
the
come
way.
back when you have
you pussy, come on.
found it. So pause. All right, we're back. So
Okay,
we
we're
have pulled up the case. We pulled up the Court of Appeals, page 30. Here we go. So this is this is the case that she told you to get a quote. Or,
26.
Yeah. So I believe that there are many. Rachel believes that I'm either wrong or whatever. This is what I'm trying to walk
The whatever is stupid, David.
you through where I'm getting my argument from. Okay. And the Rainbow case involved a Rule 11 violation, which is the same as Rule 26. And in this case, they did not follow the correct procedure, and the court sanctioned the person anyway because the judge said, well, I just have
I'm sorry, but I thought he was a hardcore lib and he just said the rainbow is a violation. So I'm offended. I don't know about the rest of you. But
inherent authority. I could do it on my own. So it doesn't, I
That's
don't
not
need.
true. It was not under the court's inherent authority. It was under the court's retroactive conversion of the Rule 26 motion to a Rule 11 to a sua sponte.
Right.
Rule 11. It was not under.
Don't say right, and he doesn't know what she's saying.
The proceedings different.
what's that?
No, don't pause on account of me.
Well, no, I wanted to ask. Well, sua sponte. Can you explain that really quick?
Yeah, it just means that okay, so we're proceeding under this one set of sanctions, but it looks like from the beginning we should have been proceeding under this other. So we're going to sua sponte correct the procedure and just pretend like we've been going under Rule 26 the entire time, entitling somebody to a safe harbor provision, completely different from this case, not even applicable at all.
It's like a retcon.
Oh, okay.
What's a retcon? The hell is that?
What he's doing.
Not making a distinction between those two. I see those as the same thing. Okay. I understand you see it as something different. I see that as not a relevant distinction. Read the.
How can it not be relevant though? The whole point is there was no other basis other than Rule 11 for the sanctions in that case.
Can you hang on? Can you hang on for just a second here?
Oh boy.
Stop kicking my
latter
ass.
part of that block quoted paragraph, Steve, if you want to flip down to the next page.
She talks for like 3 seconds, and this man is like, "Can you hang on?"
But notice whenever she speaks, it's effective.
True.
Like anytime I was like arguing with my mom in high school and I said something correct, that's like what's happening here.
What the court is saying here. So again, this dealt with a violation, a filing of a frivolous pleading, a party asking for sanctions, and then they didn't follow the rule. Okay, that is structurally what happened in our case. Same exact thing.
No, it's not the same exact thing.
Because it was not only requests under Rule 26 in our case. But go ahead.
Okay. Lord.
Oh my God, he sounds like me after page 304 of a Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively filing. Like, okay, Lord, I'm just gonna move on.
I'm just curious, man. Like he said he had
like he just had a break and he's already that defeated. Like, come on, man.
he hasn't even read the part that he thinks is I guess favorable to him. But I remember him saying that he had like 2 nationally renowned lawyers that agreed with his position. Yeah. First of all, I wonder who they are. I wonder if they're like actual people. And I'm actually not that interested in it. Actually, let's just continue. How about that?
I mean, the problem is we don't know what the context is. He could have said, hey, XYZ, PDQ.
I don't believe anything comes out of his mouth.
The thing he said could be a different context. And they could be like, oh, yeah, in that context, you're correct. And it could be fully orthogonal. It's exactly the same like when he said, oh, I've had people emailing me saying my take on the judge is correct, even though they believe Clayton. And I'm like, well, what are those emails? What's the context? What are the people actually saying as opposed to you paraphrasing?
Is that a peach tree in the background, Bruce?
No.
All right. Well, I got one that looks like that, and it has peaches.
This is Megan. What are we, chopped liver? Like, damn.
We are chopped liver when it comes to Megan Fox, just so you know.
I don't even want to think about my liver.
I got to fix my lighting. I'll be right back.
Wild. All right, let's move on to the video here.
In the Rainbow case, there was a violation of the rule. There was a threat for sanctions. There was a motion filed that didn't comply with the procedures. The court granted sanctions anyway and said, well, I could do it on my own. Under the rule, the court can sanction without a motion. Okay. And the Ninth Circuit said, you can't do it that way because it would render the safe harbor meaningless to permit a party's non-compliant motion.
I'm sorry, is the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk over there? Like, what the fuck is happening?
We have earthquakes in California. What's happening?
He had to turn on his disco lights.
Also, he says in this case he's citing there was a motion that was filed that didn't comply with the procedure. Which motion in this case, the Clayton case, did not comply with the procedure? Which motion? What date was it?
I was really distracted by the fee fi fo fum over there.
Yeah,
What?
You heard me. All right.
Was there a fee fi fo fum?
Well, you were turning on your mood lighting and it was in a very loud manner. You forgot to mute yourself.
My bad. My apologies.
I mean, I can only assume that Sniffle Ninja also has hers on, but I don't have those. So, well, I do actually. I tried to impersonate you the other day, and I got.
You trying to impersonate me?
Oh yeah, did you miss that? I've turned on the purple lights and everything.
Oh, I did catch
I'm
that.
in the dark
I did.
Oh,
see
you're in
that.
the dark.
because
Well-
I can be.
Wait, you're in the dark, or you are dark? I don't know.
I am in the dark.
I think Schnitzel's got a case of the
Oh, she-
berries.
That could mean a
she's-
couple different things, and I don't
Said
know
they're
if you want
very
me to
ominous.
get into it.
I'm not.
Did the Cubs beat the? God damn it! Did they? What's up with the Dodgers, man?
Who watches
started?
basketball? No, I'm just kidding.
Dustin May. Dustin May was on the mound. What happened? I'm checking ESPN.
Does anybody else here have a favorite baseball team?
Nobody likes baseball.
What's that?
I used to be super into Chipper Jones from the Braves.
Oh well, that was like
was
20
a
years
long
ago.
time ago. I know. That's the last time I followed baseball.
It was like last
Like
year.
in the 90s.
Oh, and Randy Johnson from the Diamondbacks.
You were a
You like
Randy
the
Johnson guy?
Diamondbacks?
I loved Randy Johnson.
I hated
Love
that
his
guy.
pitching.
He was too good.
I went to a Diamondbacks game once.
Nice.
You can't just be 6'10" and throw 100 and then just expect it to be fair.
He was awesome.
Yeah, I hated that guy.
When did he
And
play
then,
for the
like,
Diamondbacks?
When he would throw it, he would throw it like 3/4 and like the baseball's coming basically out of right field every time. That's bullshit. Fuck that. That's why I could
Yeah.
never play MLB,
Those are all
among a lot of other reasons.
I know what that means. Totally.
And I heard you can't even swim across the pool.
Bro, I make it. I mean, I make it. It just might not be fast. So
He was with them from 1999 to 2004 and 2007 to 8.
won a World
It
Series
was
with
a
him.
little before my time out there.
2001. I think he beat the Yankees in 01. The 9/11 series.
They did.
Mhm.
When you say 9/11 series, they actually
It
called
was-
it that?
No, but I think, well, actually, the 2001 World Series, pretty sure it was Arizona and the Yankees.
Really?
And it was a big deal because it was all in the forefront, and they were questioning, should we even still be playing baseball? And they're like, fuck yeah, we should, because we're America. That was back when America used to be like united, sort of.
Oh man, well, I remember that. I was in elementary school. All right. Anyways, moving on.
Motion to be converted automatically into a court-initiated motion, thereby escaping the service requirement. What they are saying is you can't do an end run around the safe harbor by using some other way of getting to the same place. You have
No,
to.
that's not what they're saying at all.
I
What they're
totally
saying
just.
here
What are they
is-
saying?
What they're saying is the court cannot say, you know what? Instead of calling this a Rule 11 motion filed by you, we're going to call it a Rule 11 motion that I initiated sua sponte,
Correct.
right? Which is completely different than what happened in this case. Because this is there were other
Look at that face. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say the guy's ugly or anything like that. I'm just saying his facial expressions are kind of hilarious at this.
Well, lots of people would say that, though. So you're in good company.
Yeah, but
I
I,
mean,
wouldn't, and I want to be.
I
Clear
would
about
not
that.
say that. I think that David Gingras is a handsome man.
I mean, as far as dudes go, I don't have any complaints about it.
I don't fucking know. I mean, he's a reasonable looking guy. The
I
problem
think
is
so, too.
he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly, precisely. But I'm still going to make fun of his facial expressions.
He might be a great salsa dancer.
No.
I don't know, Bruce. Why don't you ask and find out? Why don't you
I'm
go
willing
test
to
that
venture
theory?
guess he's not.
Why do I have to ask?
Well, you're the one who brought it up, so I want you to go dance with him and report back, please.
No. No, thank you.
We got a lot of
Pushing
Dodgers
the
fans.
line.
Michelle Bannon.
That's not David
Ooh.
Gingras. That's Dr. Grande. What the fuck?
Play the
Is that
dang
or-
video.
I hit the wrong button there. My bad.
Follow me.
Could I just acknowledge? Somebody said Michelle Bannon says it's time for Dodger baseball, and her Vince Scully voice. I'm digging it, man. There's a lot of Dodgers fans in your screen. In your stream, I think you should acknowledge it.
Okay, go Dodgers. I think. I don't
Tiffany
know.
says I sound drunk. What's going on?
Are you drunk?
Bruce
No.
never sounds drunk. Bruce always sounds like he's backed up.
What?
Yeah, because that's better.
Oh,
Well, sometimes
no.
Bruce, when he gets really angry, it feels like he's kind of backed up a little bit. And sometimes when it's like he's a little too smooth, like you can just tell. Like I'm starting to learn the levels of Bruce.
I
From
can
Oregon.
honestly say I've never had those thoughts cross my mind, but thank you for that. Okay.
How you doing, Lauren?
Well, now I'm constipated. Thanks.
I mean, I was talking about constipation. I
a
wasn't talking
threat.
about the other
It
thing.
was one sentence. Maybe I said the sentence at 0.75 speed. Maybe that's the problem.
Is
That
anyone
makes
else-
everybody sound drunk.
Amy's like, what? I haven't picked up on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard anyone else say that. So.
I miss Vin too, Snow Wonder. That guy was one of a kind. It's been 10 years. 10 years. Jesus, time flies.
God, you're old. Anyways.
For sanctions under Rule 26. You agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, there was. Of course there was. And that threat was in fact followed through on. There was a motion for sanctions filed, correct?
Well, when you say the threat was followed through on, yes, a motion for sanctions was filed and then withdrawn. I agree.
When was that withdrawn?
You
Can we
tell me,
pause?
February,
Can we pause?
January, when was
We've
it
seen
withdrawn?
this.
I have a question for the panel. What if David Gingras was in his best suit
Mhm.
and he walked up to you, Bruce, and he was like, hey, I want to buy you a drink
Oh.
and I want to take you out for a spin on this dance floor because the salsa music is jumping and I got something for you. What would you tell him?
Wait,
Does
do I
he
know it's
know who he
wait,
is?
do I know it's him?
I mean, you know it's him. You know it's him. Let's just say you didn't know it's him, but it's
So
him. He's wearing
my
a-
rule is that I will not talk to David S. Gingras. Not that there's a reason to, but I refuse to talk to him until he apologizes to Dave Neal, apologizes to Dave Neal's family, and shows evidence that he's getting therapy for being a douchebag on the internet.
That's fair. What would
If he
you
does
do,
those-
Lauren?
If he does those three things, I'll be happy to go have a drink with him.
I would do it for the memes because I'm definitely the guy in that scenario.
You would salsa dance with Gingras?
Yeah. What about
You would
Schnitzel
grind on
Ninja?
his ass?
Yes, I would. I want to know what Schnitzel Ninja would do.
What would you do, Schnitzel?
Oh, it depends on what mood I'm in. I would either ignore him or probably like
Let's just say like
say
you're a
some
couple
nasty
bourbons
things.
in.
No, a couple bourbons in. I'd probably
And happy bourbons at that.
I'd probably say some shit.
Oh, I know what I would do.
I would probably actually shit, but that's fine.
What? I mean, that's a move. That's a
Schnitzel
reaction.
Ninja would like pull the pocket spetzel out of her pocket and throw it at him.
Wait,
Pocket spetzel.
what's a spetzel?
Spätzle is a German pasta type of pasta.
You have pasta in your pockets. You didn't offer me any, and you threw it at that guy.
Yeah, I'd probably eat it if it were vegan.
If it were vegan.
That's what she said.
If it were
Alright.
vegan and gluten free.
No, I'm not gluten free. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. I tried to do that once. It lasted for a day. It's like, yeah, gluten free pasta is not a thing. Fuck that. I'm never doing this.
You went
Let's
one
move
day
on.
without a bagel.
I tried to make gluten free pasta and it just didn't work out. It's too crumbly. It turns
Yeah,
out you
had-
need
Sounds like a
gluten.
mess.
Have you had chickpea pasta?
No, but it sounds delicious. You could probably make it taste good.
I think
Sounds
it's,
like
gluten-free.
ass.
Throw a little olive oil on it, a little olive oil drizzle with some tarragon, maybe some salt and pepper, a little cayenne pepper.
It's called. Try the brand Banza.
I didn't know there was a brand, but I would
Yep.
try it. Is it like a-
Banza?
Totally.
Banza?
Do you shop at Sprouts?
Bingo.
No. Trader Joe's is my go-to.
There you
I go to
But they don't have
Instacart.
it
go. Lauren goes to 7-Eleven and gets herself a michelada.
There's a
Hey,
pizza.
I've never eaten the food at 7-Eleven. Thank you very much.
Have you ever had 7-Eleven sushi like just on a whim? Because you're like,
I hate sushi.
because you had a craving?
No, dude, I fucking hate sushi.
More
really
for
do.
me.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
this is, the Banza is gluten free.
Oh, okay.
Give me all the gluten. I don't give a fuck. I'll take it all. I need gluten in my life. There's no reason I don't need it. I just got my health exams. Like I went for my full.
like Donald
44
Trump?
Yeah, but I'm actually in really good health.
6'3", 220.
Rotini,
Well, I'm not 6'3", but
Bands
Oh,
of
boy.
You know.
rotini made from chickpeas. Okay.
Neither is he.
Benza. How tall you think he is though? Because his son's like 6'10" or something.
His driver's license says 6'2". He's
Mm.
probably 6 foot something now because he's so old.
Well, I'm legit 5'11",
Hey, I wanted to argue more about December 12th and all that jazz, and we're just talking about Instacart.
Oh, because I've disregarded Gingras, so I no longer give him my legal brain.
That's also just kind of my brand, is to be a clown and not arguing. Just Ricardo, thank you for the $2. Gingras doesn't make enough to buy me a drink. That's true. He's working pro bono. But I'll buy you one with the $2 you just gave me. It's not going to be a good one, but I'll give you a drink for the $2. All right, let's move on.
April. I think it was April.
April. Okay.
I didn't get hired until March 25th.
Okay.
Okay. So it was months later that Woodnick finally withdrew this. The issue that you are missing, and I just totally reject where you're coming from. I'm sorry. I respectfully do. There was a threat of Rule 26 sanctions that invoked the procedure of the rule.
Why do I feel like she was just texting Steve about him? Look at Steve. Steve's looking down. He's looking down now. They were totally messaging about him.
She's like, this fucking guy.
They were totally messaging about him. Hang on. Look.
When was that
withdrawn? Watch her type.
You tell me. February, January? When was it withdrawn?
April. I think it was April.
April. Okay.
I didn't get hired until March 25th.
Okay.
Okay. So
why does that matter?
It was months later that Woodnick finally withdrew this. The issue that you are missing, and I just totally reject where you're coming from. I'm sorry. I respectfully do. There was a threat.
Okay. There's her face. She's like, oh my God, fine. And now watch her type.
Oh boy.
Of Rule 26 sanctions that invoked the procedure
and
of.
now watch, he gets the message. He's looking down like, oh yeah.
The rule.
Literally texting this fucking guy, man. What is he on about?
Laura had a right to withdraw the offending pleading.
Like,
she was not
what are you doing
given
after the
that
video?
right. If she withdrew the offending pleading, what are we litigating?
They're both just.
What about the other bases for sanctions?
Okay. I don't know what part of the.
Oh, his brain's resetting.
That stroke. Yeah.
You're missing. Under Rule 26.
I've never seen a stroke live on YouTube. That's amazing.
If a person accuses you of filing a pleading that offends the rule, you have a right to fix it.
Before sanctions can be awarded under that statute.
Under any statute.
But show me a case that says that, because your cases don't. I've read them all now.
No, you need to read them again. You're incorrect.
What was that?
What?
Sorry, I thought I heard Cynthia say
Me? Oh, I was saying her, like, your cases don't.
Yeah.
You dumb fuck.
It's crazy. It's like he's got a math textbook and she's like 1 + 1 = 2. And he's like, no, 1 + 1 = 3. And she's like, 1 + 1 = 2. And he's like, no, go read the math book again. Like, that's not how arguing works.
Do you think that's Gingerbread's face?
I don't even want to think about that.
Why are you asking us like you don't already know?
I don't fucking know. I've never.
Oh, I don't know. Steve is just like, what are Rachel and Steve texting over there? Like, what are you doing after the?
I know you're texting about me.
And he's just like, I'm going out on town after this video.
Oh my goodness.
Just give me a quote from Holgate.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
Can we have do you want me to have like a break and come back to this? I'll be.
We did watch this part already. I just wanted.
We did.
To see
We saw a lot of it. We were deep into the filing. We were on the next page of this filing.
The judge said, "Well, I just have inherent authority. I could do it on my own, so it doesn't.
That's
I don't
not
need."
True. It was not under the court's inherent authority. It was under the court's retroactive conversion of the Rule 26 motion to a Rule 11 to a sua sponte.
Right.
Rule 11. It was not under the court's inherent authority to control the proceedings. Different.
I'm not making a distinction between those two. I see those as the same thing. Okay.
They're not.
There's his error.
Different.
I see that
error
as right there.
Not irrelevant distinction. Read the.
How can it not be relevant though? The whole point is there was no other basis other than Rule 11 for the sanctions in that case.
Can you hang on? Can you hang on for just a second here?
Go ahead.
Stop
the
kicking
latter
my
part
ass.
of that block quoted paragraph, Steve, if you want to flip down to the next page.
Yeah.
So what the court is saying here. So again, this dealt with a filing of a frivolous pleading, a party asking for sanctions, and then they didn't follow the rule. Okay. That is structurally what happened in our case. Same exact thing.
No, it's not.
And the court.
No, it's not, because it was not only requests under Rule 26 in our case. But go ahead.
Okay.
By the way, structural error basically refers to constitutional violations, not what he's talking about.
In the Clayton case, what is the motion that was filed that created this error? He doesn't say.
Yeah.
So
he
it's
misunderstands
not the same.
He misunderstands what a structural error is.
Well, he can't back up his argument with an actual, like, he should say, Woodnick filed whatever. It went on the docket on January whatever. And like, we could go look at the file, and he won't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Rainbow case, there was a violation of the rule. There was a threat for sanctions. There was a motion filed that didn't comply with the procedures. The court granted sanctions anyway and said, well, I could do it on my own. Under the rule, the court can sanction without a motion. Okay. And the Ninth Circuit said, you can't do it that way because it would render the safe harbor meaningless to permit a party's non-compliant motion to be converted automatically into a court-initiated motion, thereby escaping the service requirement. What they are saying is you can't do an end run around the safe harbor by using some other way of getting to the same place. You have to.
That's not what they're saying at all.
What are they saying?
What they're saying is the court cannot say, you know what? Instead of calling this a Rule 11 motion filed by you, we're going to call it a Rule 11 motion that I initiated sua sponte.
Correct.
Right? Which is completely different than what happened in this case. Because in this case, there were other proper requests for sanctions under different authority than Rule 26.
Okay. All I'm saying to you is
all I can think
He
of
has
is that
no
Black Eyed Peas
response.
song. Black Eyed Peas song. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Somebody knows.
Yeah, but
Don't.
I mean, yeah, he does sound like that.
You
but he
guys
has
don't know the My Hump song?
No, I
that
do,
one,
but-
yeah.
He does sound like that, but
I don't know that part in that song.
more interesting.
very
thing is
beginning.
She just put him in the corner, and he can't get out. He has no way out.
He reminds me of this
Somebody's,
thing my son has started saying, which is
Wait, we lost Omar. Oh, well, go ahead.
Oh boy.
I guess that the kids at school are saying "goo goo gaga, I'm a baby" for whatever reason. But that
Pardon?
reminds me of Gingras.
I'm
Like when
sorry.
he's-
What?
Goo goo gaga, I'm a baby. Like when he's just complaining about all this stuff. It's like what I imagine him actually saying.
What?
Goo goo gaga, I'm a baby. Okay.
Is this like
okay.
new?
Because he's like
Skibbity Sigma.
no, just like whining about all this shit. It's like he's just like goo goo gaga, I'm a baby.
Seriously, no one else is thinking of the Black Eyed Peas song.
No.
I know what you mean, Lauren.
Yes. Seriously, don't
I
make me keep
understand it.
breathing.
I get it.
Can you do that one more time?
What you gonna do with all that junk? All that, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I get
Oh wait,
it. It's
are you
just-
gonna get?
Here we
Are
go.
you gonna get struck?
Do it anyways. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just. You got to talk over it so they don't
Oh.
strike you. As
We
long
need
as you talk.
we
Oh,
need
boy.
to edit this. Okay, you can pause it. Yeah, pause it now. We need
That was
to
me.
edit.
That was all
we
me.
need to edit the song with him sighing over it, please. I don't know. That's all I can think of for some reason. Is the
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's funny, but like she just like destroyed him, and he has no counter to her explanation.
All right, well, I'm assuming we're gonna get Omar back soon, but I'm gonna play some more of this. anyway.
Rachel,
What is your response to what she just
What
said?
is your response to that?
you are ignoring you are pretending. Wait,
Oh boy.
Wait for me.
do you want me to stay on this? You need to let me have fair.
Oh my God, you've been talking the entire time.
He didn't even say anything. She was shuffling a piece of paper.
Uh-huh.
Opportunity to answer. Okay.
David, of 58 minutes, you've probably talked for
times more than I
42
have.
of them. I mean, come on, man.
Okay, guys. Rachel, the problem is you are pretending that a Rule 26 threat was never made, and you are pretending
No,
that
it
a
was
Rule 26
12-12.
motion was never filed. You are ignoring
No,
those
it was
facts,
filed.
and you cannot do that because
I'm not. I'm just saying that sanctions were never awarded under Rule 26.
Correct.
They were
brilliant,
awarded under different statutes.
brilliant. But are we going to?
Brilliant.
That's so condescending. Oh,
Yeah, very
brilliant. What a
Mhm.
condescending jerk.
I
So
hate that he
rude.
has a better camera than me. Anyways, moving on.
Pretend the Rule
Brilliant.
26 threat didn't happen because that threat gave Laura the right to withdraw her petition without punishment.
Under Rule 26.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And you
And
don't- So wait a minute, hold on. This is important though, because the only case I saw cited in either brief that actually deals with the issue of sanctioning that conduct under separate authority was in Woodnick's brief. Hold on.
Let me, Rachel,
Hold on.
hang on.
What the heck is even
No,
happening?
she said, hold on. You don't get to say, hold on. She already said, hold on.
All right, that's why I'm like, what do you mean? Hold on. You just got a break to read over your own case.
I'm not going to debate Woodnick's brief with you right now. That's just not the level that I was prepared to go into right now. I'm just not.
Whoa,
What?
dude. Whoa.
You just got the decision back. What do you
Is this dude
mean?
prepared to do anything?
Argue stupid shit.
Sing the Black Eyed Peas, maybe.
Here, hold on. You said, and I highlighted this part of your blog, I cited plenty of legal authority
Right.
It's like, I got you, bitch.
for the idea that a Rule 26 violation cannot be punished under other
Oh,
authority.
I know what case you're going to talk. I know what you're going to talk about. I know what you're going to do.
Oh,
Nice
boy.
that you know that, but you don't know anything about your own case.
Nobody's punishing anybody under Rule 26.
Court of Appeal just ignored that authority.
Right.
What is that authority?
You're looking right at it.
But there's no other authority
Okay, Rachel.
at issue in Radcliffe.
Oh,
There's
God.
only the Rule 11.
Listen, you got to let me
You just orgasm.
Oh, Rachel read the Radcliffe. She read
follow me through on this. Follow me through. Okay, let's just have a little yes or no thing here.
Yes, let's slow down for the person who's clearly winning this argument. But okay.
Do you agree with me that under Rule 26, Laura had a right to withdraw the offending pleading? Did she have that right or not?
Before she could be sanctioned under Rule 26, I agree.
Okay. The other authority that you are so focused on, like 809G, what is that? What does that allow?
You want to talk about how focused somebody is on the one of the
Oh,
who
boy.
said shut up in the background there? Exactly. I heard one of Omar's kids say shut up.
It's getting tense in the manicure station over
Yeah, the
there.
nail
Oh my
salon's not
gosh.
doing
Nail
too
salon
well.
is
They've been home for like a couple hours now, so I don't know what to tell them.
a little
Well,
spicy.
I can only assume that you left us for a few minutes to get your nails painted, and I see they still look like shit, so I'm confused.
No,
What's going on
my
here, Omar?
laptop was not charging, and so we just ran out of batteries.
Allow punishment for?
Unreasonable litigation conduct.
Unreasonable.
Shifting fees for other.
It allows for fees for unreasonable litigation conduct. What
Ooh.
unreasonable
I don't think you want to flex that.
litigation conduct would have happened if Laura had been allowed?
Look at
Would have
Steve.
happened? Why are we talking about something that didn't happen? Why can't we talk about what did happen?
Hmm. Well, that doesn't go very well.
to
so.
withdraw her petition as Rule 26 gave her the right to do.
Well, she did.
what
She
I'm
filed a
telling
motion
you
to
is-
dismiss.
Filing a
Uh,
petition when you don't really believe you're pregnant is unreasonable litigation conduct.
Great.
That can be
Tell me-
punished separately. Hold on, there's other
Glad he
authority
agrees.
other than
Okay, just saying.
Rule 11/26, under which that can be punished, and that is the theory, right? That was what was at issue in that case, which it sounds like you remember the name better than I do. It was
Yeah,
actually cited.
It was a case where somebody was sanctioned like $1,000.
Maybe.
That's what that was.
Who cares? It was the court actually saying, to be sure, you can still sanction under other authority.
Yeah.
Without
But-
giving the safe harbor.
If we
I hate when she's right. Ugh.
were talking
It
about
breaks your
sanctioning
brain,
Laura
man.
under any authority for her conduct between August 1st, when she filed the petition, and
Of which year? Because she's done this a lot.
December 28th, when she withdrew it.
Yes.
If that was the unreasonable litigation conduct that you claim occurred, I would agree with you. But that's not what happened. What happened was Woodnick threatened her and she withdrew. Have you ever sent or received a Rule 11 threat, Rachel?
I have sent them. I've never received one.
Okay. I've sent and received a few. Okay. And
Shocking.
I bet
Tell me
he's
if I'm wrong
received
about
a
this.
few.
every single one of those threats follows the same pattern. Dear Rachel, I've read your pleading that was filed. I
Can we
have
pause for a
concerns that
minute?
it is not consistent with Rule 11. Here are my concerns.
Could we pause it?
So his argument is essentially that those other sanctions were applied for back in August or whatever, and then to December, whatever, and then she tries to withdraw. Rule 26 is invoked after that. And so he thinks that from August to December, that Laura Owens should be absolved from whatever happened there. That's just not how that works. Rule 26, he thinks that that conduct would have been from, I guess, December 12th until whatever, the trial. That's not how attorney fees and sanctions work.
Yeah.
Like under 25 specifically, if you're found to have filed a frivolous parenting petition, that entitles you to attorney fees and costs. And it's not even sanctions. It's just you get the reasonable attorney fees. So it invokes.
And it doesn't matter when those fees are charged, correct?
No, it doesn't. From August all the way till the end, because he has to prove at trial that her behavior was frivolous, that her petition was frivolous, and that that's why the $150,000 is justified.
I thought we were pausing to talk about how Evelyn just learned about the middle finger and was
she
flipping
did.
off everyone on the road.
I don't know. She learned about that, and then she was on the way home with my wife, and then she was flipping everybody off on the road. And it's like, oh, that's great.
God, we're going to be like best friends. All right, anyways.
Please review these authorities. Here's what the problem is, and I demand that you withdraw your pleading within the next 10 days. If you fail to do so, then I will seek sanctions. That's generally the format, right?
I will seek sanctions under this rule. Yes.
Right. Have you ever seen a threat that said, Rachel, you violated the rule. I demand that you withdraw your pleading, and I'm not gonna let you withdraw your pleading.
Yes, I have.
She was punished for conduct that the court wouldn't forced her to engage in.
He just created a weird
Laura had no
hypothetical
intention
that
of
never even
continuing this
happened.
litigation past December 28th.
Okay, but
And then she was sanctioned for unreasonable conduct past December 28th. That makes no sense.
all of
before
these arguments go
Before
to, and I
December
told
28th,
Steve this,
sir.
what I think is your best common sense argument, which is that really what Clayton should have done was just given up after December 28th.
No. This is
But
where
there's no legal authority supporting your position, because you just conceded a second ago that you would agree with me if she had been sanctioned for the litigation conduct between August and December under different authority. But that wouldn't be the case if you really believed that Rule 11/26 provided a safe harbor against any sanctions related to the filing of a frivolous, not frivolous, but the improper filing of a pleading.
because I wouldn't call it sanctions. What I'm saying to you is my view of the law is if Laura engaged in sanctionable conduct, a violation of Rule 26, we address that under Rule 26, right?
No, wait, we addressed that? What do you mean? That you didn't address, it was not addressed under Rule 26.
Hang on. That is the legal argument that I made in the second part of my opening brief that you said was after Rainbow, the next section where I said that she was protected under for the safe harbor applied
After Rainbow, I hate July.
to relief
Right.
under other authority. And what I was saying is if you read the arguments that I made there's a general rule in Arizona that when a statute provides a remedy for a wrong, that remedy is exclusive. Okay. So you can't say you violated Rule 26 because you signed a pleading that wasn't true, which Rule 26 says you are not allowed to do, right? You can't use that violation for punishment under some other authority without following the Rule 26 process.
But the Court of Appeals disagreed with you on that point as well.
It did.
It is not an exclusive remedy.
Okay.
There's another remedy for unreasonable litigation conduct, which within it can include the filing of a pleading that is not reasonable. But the court said it was more than that. There was a host of unreasonable things.
If things were exactly the way that he says they are, like if things actually were the way of David Gingras's imagination, people could get away with some really awful, horrible shit all the time, and it would be a mess. Like it would be like the new way to punish someone who ghosted you. dude. Like it would be bad. Hold on, let me read this real quick. Marilyn Leos, thank you for the 20. I'll buy you a margarita, Lauren, and Dingus can have a spitini. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren, that's a good point. If you go back and read that last Medium blog from Laura, she literally says that, like, you know, hey, I did all this stuff. I should have been given the ability to just drop everything and get away with no penalties or no repercussions for my actions. She basically literally says that. I mean, linguistically, she, you know, plays some gymnastics with it, but like
she throws in she throws in an I was totally pregnant every now and then, but yeah.
Well, of course, but yeah, you know, but it's very clear that's what these two think. They're like, well, we can go do all sorts of weird things, and then if we just, you know, get through this loophole, we should have just been able to get away totally free. Yeah. And of course, that's what they want. But, and you know, if that was the law, they would have gotten it because either the judge or the appeals court or the judge's authority would have said, yeah, you're right. But none of them did.
Amy Lynn says, I wouldn't call it sanctions. Is like Amber Heard making a donation versus a pledge or whatever she called it. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton really wanted attorney's fees. And the thing he will never bring up in this video is that in February, both sides agreed that they were both seeking attorney's fees in February, which is way after all this December nonsense.
Right. Right. All right.
Come on.
The court refused to give Laura the safe harbor she was entitled to, and then it punished her for unreasonable conduct after it refused to let her drop the petition. If you think that makes sense, then you and I are just cut from different cloth.
Okay? Yes, holding people accountable is good. We know you think it's not good to hold people accountable. We get it.
That was not a brag, dude. You don't. You do not want to brag about that. Ugh. Oh man, what a mess.
Oh my gosh.
I've done a lot of litigation where people have engaged in sanctionable conduct, and I have asked for sanctions and tried to get punishment through any means possible. And I've never seen a court
tell us you like to be spanked,
disregard the safe harbor provision and say, oh, I'm just going to sanction you $150,000 for doing something that was a violation of Rule 11, but I'm just going to call it something else. Just going to call it something else.
Okay, so you've sought sanctions under other statutes, no mention of Rule 26. And the court has said, wait a minute, hold on. That could also be a violation of Rule 26. Therefore, I'm invoking a safe harbor with respect to a rule that doesn't have a statutory safe harbor.
You're not listening. Steve,
I'm totally listening.
We got to move on. We got to move on from that.
No, we got to move on. We got to move on.
I've asked
it's like
for
he's
sanctions
back
in
down to
cases
the ropes, and he's like, "Can we just go to the next round of this boxing match, please?"
Ref, and the ref is just like,
courts just go, no. If a person withdraws a pleading, we're done.
Okay.
Because that's the safe harbor. That's what they give. That the safe harbor gives them a reward for doing the right thing. Laura never got that reward. Laura never got that reward.
There's no
Under Rule
chance.
26.
What's up?
There is no chance that if he asked for sanctions under Rule 25, that he would withdraw anything because somebody invoked a safe harbor provision. There's no chance he would do that. Bullshit.
Yeah. That's crazy. Also, this a reward for doing the right thing. That's like, oh, you know, I just robbed a bank, but at the last second, I left some of the money at the police station. So I guess I did the right thing. Like, oh, like what? It's crazy.
Yeah, Steve, his face kind of says it all.
I think Steve's mind has left his body at this point.
Like, what are we on about? And I get it.
Is the whole point.
If there was no paternity petition pending, how could she have acted unreasonably in litigating the petition?
Okay. There wasn't any paternity when she tried to withdraw it. There were other issues before the court.
No, he's conflating
Okay.
pregnancy with
We're
paternity
talking in
again.
circles. We're talking in circles.
And what about the fact? So let me just stop you there. What about the fact that she filed a request for mediation when she knew she was no longer pregnant?
When Clayton didn't have a lawyer.
I'm just asking you, what about that? Was that reasonable litigation conduct? What if Clayton consulted a lawyer at that point? Does he have to go to mediation?
What fees did that cause?
Does it
I'm
matter?
asking you. What if he had consulted a lawyer at that point? Would that count?
What fees did that cost? Sorry.
What if it cost him $10 in
asking you.
gasoline? Who gives a fuck?
Answer the question, David.
Yeah. Like what if it was
Right?
what if it was $6
Because
in
we
gas?
agree on the
Who
causal-
cares?
on the causal connection requirement. If
I-
he consulted an attorney because of her request for mediation,
Did
and
he?
the court found that she filed, I'm asking you if, you asked me to engage in a hypothetical, I'm asking you to engage in a hypothetical,
I
okay?
don't like this hypothetical.
He consulted an attorney because a request for mediation had been filed, and she filed that knowing she was no longer pregnant. Could she be sanctioned for that?
Not without following Rule 26, if that's the violation. Could he ask for fees? Could he ask for fees for unreasonable litigation conduct during that window when this unreasonable conduct was happening? Sure. Of course he could. Of course he could.
That's what he
I've
did
never said that
on
that was not the
8/21.
case. Well, I still maintain if the unreasonable litigation conduct is a Rule 26 violation, we resolve it under Rule 26. If the unreasonable litigation conduct was something else, then we don't look at Rule 26. I agree with you completely.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
but
the
what if it could
8/21
be a Rule
filing.
26 violation or something else? The same conduct can violate multiple rules.
No. So Rule 26 deals with signing pleadings.
Argument is
Okay? It doesn't deal with conduct. It does not deal with
But
conduct.
signing a pleading is conduct.
Fine.
What I'm saying to you is you could engage in unreasonable conduct that isn't signing a pleading.
I agree with you completely.
Great.
Yeah.
And if that happened, and if Laura engaged in unreasonable conduct that wasn't signing a pleading, and that conduct caused Clayton to incur fees, I agree with you. You could recover that under something else. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
anytime,
And that's what he
you're
did.
saying is anytime you sign a pleading, that cannot fall under any other sanctionable statute or fee statute. Sanctions or fees, right? Because that's another point the Court of Appeals raised. It can't be sanctioned or because it could fall under Rule 26.
It does fall under Rule 26. And if you sign a pleading in violation of Rule 26, you are answerable under Rule 26 if the process
Watch his eyes. Watch Steve's eyes. He's just like,
is followed.
Right. But what if you decline to bring a Rule 26 motion and you instead seek fees
There you
or
go.
sanctions under Rule 25, 809?
Actually, you know what's
Yes.
awesome that you asked that? Because when Steve and I were talking about doing this, I had a copyright infringement case in Massachusetts a few years ago. And the plaintiff,
could have had one in Florida.
Why
this
can't
year,
he just
bitch.
say yes or no? Why does he have to talk about some copyright thing for $1,000? What the? You can't answer the fucking
Because,
question.
Because he needs to talk about something that makes him feel important.
was a lawyer. Why are you laughing?
Because Steve started wiping his face.
Anyway, I had a copyright infringement case in Massachusetts. It was called Small Justice. Small Justice was the name of the LLC. But anyway, it was a weird and it was a frivolous and it was a Rule 11 violation that the guy did. But we didn't seek sanctions under Rule 11. We didn't go down that road. We litigated the copyright issue. We won
Shocking.
and we applied for fees. And the court awarded fees. And we appealed and we won the.
I'm sorry. Can somebody please tell me what the fuck that has to do with anything? Like,
He's so weird because he says they won, and then he says they appealed, and then he says they won the appeal. Like,
I can tell you with,
clearly you didn't win to begin with, but
I can tell you in good confidence that there's no merit. I'm not following what he's saying.
I
I'm
think.
not either.
I mean, the stupid thing to me is he's bringing up a past case that proves Rachel's point.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He just has a fundamental misunderstanding of how
Like-
family law works.
If he was able to do that and not invoke Rule 11 or Rule 26, then that's what Clayton did. Duh.
Just Ricardo, thank you for the $2. Omar, would Dingus argue rule of law with a GPS stamp?
If it made him famous, he would. He'll argue anything. He'll say or do or argue. He will dance and sing the song that I'm a little teapot. If it meant that he could go on national television and argue in front of the Supreme Court, which is
Why
not.
don't you just go to like Judge Judy or some shit like that?
He should just
Yeah.
make a YouTube channel if you want to be famous. I mean, people.
Well, he
will
tried
listen.
that. I mean, he tried that.
I'm-
Then he
Well,
threatened to
he
sue
could go-
someone right away.
He could go on hot bench, but then Rachel would be the judge and he'd be fucked.
He is not of the level of her. He's just not. He's not grasping these laws.
Watching her ask him questions is like watching a calculus professor talk to somebody who understands like third grade mathematics, like addition and subtraction.
This dude should hide his face more than Schnitzel Ninja does. Winder Bender, thank you for the $5. Hey everyone! Oh my God, this guy is a walking migraine inducer. I agree. Okay, I can last about.
Something
let's
to
see.
do.
Get the Advil.
I got like 5 more minutes of this in me, so we'll go to 1:15, and then I gotta.
That's
I gotta
perfect because I got to jet around that time anyway. Got to put the girls to bed.
Fees on the appeal. So I agree with you, but I put that in my brief. I put that in my, I think it was my opening brief or the reply, that Clayton had a choice here. He could have done this a couple of different ways, but the
oral, anal, wait. Either one would have led to babies in Laura's eyes.
thing that he actually
Oh wait, that's not what they were talking about. My bad.
did was try to use the Rule 26 process, but he did it wrong. And then the Mata screwed up by not allowing Laura to invoke the safe harbor.
But the safe harbor would have only shielded her against sanctions under Rule 26. You have yet to point to any authority which says, oh, you had another request for fees pending under separate authority.
My other
the Rule
question
26
here.
safe harbor protects you from sanctions under that statute.
What's up?
So Omar, Gingras keeps saying like, Mata didn't let Laura do the safe harbor. What does that mean? Like,
Well, okay, so Mata did not allow her to dismiss the petition. But like Rachel is like flabbergasted, like, what do you mean? Like, why is that confusing to you? Of course, she can't unilaterally dismiss the paternity petition when there's still issues to be litigated.
no, she did file to dismiss. So she did take advantage of the safe harbor provision.
But it didn't apply to the other stuff. Like his argument is,
No, I get that. But why is he saying that Mata didn't let Laura do something when Laura demonstrably did something?
well, because what he's not thinking about the same thing you're thinking of. With
Okay.
Rule 26, yeah. But what Gingras is saying is she should have been allowed to withdraw the entire petition and not have to face up to the other Rule 25 stuff.
No, I get that. I get that meta argument, but he keeps saying like the court didn't let her, apply for the safe harbor or something. Like, but she did. She did
I'm not
apply
sure that
for it.
I'm not sure that it mattered because at some point it was a moot point.
No. I get it all doesn't matter, but my fundamental problem with him is he doesn't lay out the timeline properly of what all happened and how it maps to his argument. He's just doing a bad job of mapping out like on this date there was this filing, on this date there was that filing. And then when he says Mata didn't let someone do something, what is he talking about? Is he talking about a motion that was denied? Is he talking about something else?
He's literally talking about Mata didn't let her just unilaterally withdraw the entire petition. That's literally what he's talking about. So
what would that mean? Like she files to dismiss on 12/28, and you're saying that an approval of that would have been what he's talking about? The language he uses is so like obfuscated around the actual events.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's confused. And what Rachel
I don't think it's confused. He's just communicating badly.
I don't know if he's well, here's what I understand what he means. She files a paternity petition in August.
Uh-huh.
She claims to not be pregnant in, what was it, like November or something?
No, she says, I'm no longer pregnant December 28th.
Which time? Because she changes her timeline a lot.
The Clayton one.
And then she tries to withdraw the petition, and she's unable to withdraw the petition because there are still issues pending that Clayton raised back in August.
Correct.
When he says that the court didn't allow her to dismiss, what he's talking about is the entire petition, invalidating Rule 25 sanctions because of a safe harbor petition that was raised, I guess, I don't know when it was raised.
Why can't he just say like, hey, there was a motion to dismiss on 12/28 and it was denied? Why can't he just speak clearly?
Well, because what he wants to say is that Judge Mata was incorrect in disallowing Laura Owens from withdrawing the entire thing because she misunderstood the safe harbor provisions. Mm-hmm. She didn't know that Laura Owens was entitled to withdraw it. And what Rachel is saying, what I've been saying, is that has nothing to do with Rule 25.
Right. Correct.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I mean, you explain it better than he does. And you're not even arguing his point.
I am not arguing because his point is stupid.
I know, but at least you can explain it better than he can.
Well,
Unfortunately, because I'm tight on time now, it's past 11 o'clock. We're not going to get through the rest of this, obviously, tonight, which I didn't think we would. But Rach G, thank you for the $2. Judge Judy produces hot bench, so he screwed there. Oh, I did not know that. Karen Carson, thank you for the 5. The problem, dingus, is Laura didn't call Ollie Oxenfree, which means she deserves sanctions. Thank you, Karen.
totally.
Somebody should call
That's
the
a good
manager,
point.
Karen.
Yeah.
Will you do it? Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. I do have to go because I have to eat and then I have to finish something up before I go to bed, and then I got work in the morning. So
All right.
this is gonna end up like I said.
Busy
a 4-part
beaver.
series, so.
Busy Beaver.
I'm sorry. What?
Lauren said she has a medium beaver.
I don't recall that, but I'm not saying it didn't happen.
In the Mountie stream or something.
Oh, boy.
Wasn't that Canadian Mountie stream or? Oh no, that was Bruce's stream. Never mind.
No.
cool.
It was. You said that the other night. Somebody donated Canadian dollars or whatever, and then you said it was called a Mountie, and I was like,
Oh, moose bucks.
that makes sense. Nice.
I was not being crass when I said that. I was like recalling something.
Oh yeah, sure. I totally believe you. Okay. Anyways, go get your fingernails painted, Omar, and then go to bed. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye,
Thanks, guys.
everyone.
It's very
Love
helpful.
you guys. You guys take care.
Bye.